Well, Coach, a great first half, a big lead. You lose the lead, you eventually win, and it's very stressful, isn't it?
They're always stressful, right? Showed a lot of toughness tonight, Mark. We find out more about our team every day and every game, and so I don't think we can play much better in the first half. Let's just be honest. And we knew that, and our guys knew that. And we had tried to tell our guys we've been shooting so poorly that it's going to come around, and it came around. But you knew Cathedral wasn't going to go away. The same thing happened last year. We went down there, I think we were up 14 at half, and then ended up losing. And so to have kind of a biggish lead and control the game and then give it back and then just make enough plays down the stretch and get enough stops down the stretch really showed a lot about our guys and our maturity with our guys just to stay with it.
I could sense that, again, last week, I'm sure you'll admit and the players admit that it wasn't a good week for Melrose, but it was going to be hard work to get back into it, right?
Right. 2 tough road games last week, and we shot terribly both times. I mean, a lot of that had to do with Painesville and Sauk Center's defense. But sometimes it's a little contagious and sometimes a little confidence and all of that. But it's no lie. We usually shoot better at home. We've got a shooter's gym and the softest rims in the state, and we have a lot of confidence playing here. And so sometimes just kind of seeing the ball goes in gives a little bit of confidence. And we really try to judge offense on, are we getting good shots? So when we reviewed the Painesville film and reviewed the Sauk Center film, it was like, well, those are all pretty good shots, and we just missed them. So law of averages throughout the course of the season, those things will even themselves out.
All right, in the first half, what in the world got into Ian Funk?
Well, he's just kind of like that. He's wiry. He doesn't quit on a play. He's always flying around, and he's 6'5" with length. And so we kind of talked to him and guys in that role that once you get in there, you're probably only going to play about 4 minutes at a stretch. So just play your heart out for 4 minutes, and that's what he's doing. And it's just one of those things in basketball that if you just put in that one extra step or that one extra time going to the board, you just never know when you're going to get something. And so he was an absolute key in that first half making plays.
I was looking forward to seeing Hunter Goyle take on Kellen Kinzer. That was going to be a battle, it. And then here, too, you talk about a player just doing something maybe out of the usual, is Hunter Goyle then hits a three-point basket.
Right. Hunter is a good shooter, and we don't ask him to shoot much, but when he's open, he can make them. I thought his defense on Kinzer was really, really good because Kinzer is a tough match. Division I football player. Hunter's given up a few inches and a few pounds, but he's good in that, and he thrives in that role. And I thought he did an excellent job of really standing up Kinzer as much as possible and doing everything that he could on the inside. So he had a really nice game.
Again, leading by 14 at halftime, but then Cathedral comes out and outscores Melrose by quite a bit to take over the lead. What was happening up to that point, and how did you recover then?
Yeah, I mean, they just did a little trap and a little zone, and we just, did not take care of the basketball real well. And so guys got a little timid, and I don't think we were real good at spacing it real well and wanting the ball. And sometimes when you get a turnover or two, it's a little bit like a fielder in baseball, Mark, right? Like, don't hit the ball to me, right? And sometimes that's, I don't want to catch the basketball. Don't give it to me. And so we were going through a little bit of that. But I feel like we stopped the runs as much as we could, and we didn't allow them to get that next basket. We didn't allow them to be up by, I don't know what their biggest lead, but I don't think it was 5 or 6. We kind of stopped it right there and were able to play. And especially with the shot clock, I mean, you're down 4. It's not really that big of a deal with 5 minutes to go because there's going to be possession after possession.
When I watch Connor Anderson play, tonight, after a rough week last week, he made his first shot tonight, made a 3. Then he hit a big one here in the second half for Melrose, another 3-point shot. How do you get him going to, I guess I always expect a lot out of him, maybe too much, but to put pressure on him. But to get him going is a key for you, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, there's no question that he's a third option type guy, and we're going to need him. And he's been more aggressive with his outside shot and with his dribbling and with going to the basket. But I was really, really proud of him after he had some bad turnovers and you could just tell his confidence was down. We moved him more on the baseline, and he just got it, and he ripped it. And that was the biggest shot in the game. I think it was 49-49. He hits a 3 with a couple minutes to go. I mean, talk about the toughness of a kid who has turned the ball over, is lacking confidence, is frustrated at himself, and he has enough toughness to be able to get the ball, want it, and make the 3. That was a huge play.
Another good matchup tonight, too, because Cathedral has Voth at 6'7", then here's Gore Rui at 6'8". That was a good matchup between those.
Yeah, because, that's a lot of arms and legs and height and playing above the rim and doing all that type of stuff. And so I think that length really helped us because we talked about that beforehand. Like Cathedral is 6'7", 6'5", 6'4", 6'4". And normally when you look at that, you're like, oh boy, we're in trouble. But you know what? We're 6'3", 6'5", 6'8", 6'3". So we felt that was we were gonna be neutral with that. You know, and Mark, we were plus 14 on the boards, and that is a huge difference for us. Paynesville, we were minus 19. And so if we can do some of those little things, rebound the basketball, it's going to give us more possessions.
But you're going to rely on Ronnie Engelmeyer and Devin Orbick because they've got the ball a lot, and they've got to just kind of show poise out there, right, and just maintain.
Yep, those guys have played a lot of minutes, and, you know, Devin is just nearly impossible to take off the floor with all of the stuff that he does. And we're going to live with some of his deficiencies because he makes up for it so much. And same thing with Ronnie and Gore. I mean, those guys are going to play a lot of minutes, and we trust them. We absolutely trust them. We want the ball in their hands. We want them making decisions. And so, you know, Devin, I thought, had a phenomenal second half on their stud. And so that he played a tremendous game. I'm not sure what Pfeiffer ended up with, you know, but he was really good in the first half, and Devin just did a tremendous job on him. I
also don't want to discount the efforts, though, too, that you're expecting out of, say, Sam Wayloggy, also off the bench, Isaac Rosenberger, and, you know, Fernando. I want to point out Fernando again with you because I can recall when he first started playing basketball, he didn't play all his life here, but with every year, he's just improved his skills so much, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. You know, he fills this role that not a lot of people like, and that's the toughness. We call it bully ball, offensive rebound, set great screens. I mean, literally, I think the highlights of his game is if he gets an offensive rebound and if he sets a punishing screen. And you need guys like that. And in a game like today, you need it. You know, there's some matchups that aren't the best for him, but he brings a lot of energy, and he is such a leader on our team of cheering guys up on the bench. And even when he was on the bench, he was kind of sitting next to me. He's like, hey, guys, we got to start a chant. And then he would start a chant on the bench, and he's just a winner.
You know, I got to tell you a story here. After your game against Sauk Center, I gave him the player of the game. Well, before he got on the bus, he came up, and he said, thank you to me. Then he reaches out to shake my hand. He shook my hand, and I went, my gosh, are you strong?
He is a strong kid. Yeah, I mean, he's really filled out the last couple of years, and I think he plays to that strength, right? And he likes that strength, and he likes that toughness. And we just said, just go in there and just use that strength. If you pick up a couple fouls, so be it.
All right, so at Benson on Thursday, Sauk Center beat Benson by 40 tonight. And then what's happening on Saturday?
Yeah, so Saturday we're playing at St. John's. That's a game time switch. Our game is at 12:30 versus Annandale at St. John's. Originally on the schedules it was at 3:30 because St. John's played at 1, but I'm not sure St. John's plays at 3 now. So we play at 12:30 versus Annandale on Saturday.
All right. What's Annandale like? Because they won the state last year, but they graduated a ton.
They did. They got to top 6, but they're still very solid. I mean, their record is not as good as they are. They're better than the record indicates in the sense that every game is close. They are very, very good defensively. They're supremely well coached, and so it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out, tough night or afternoon at St. John's for us.
And when you talk about well coached, that Skip down there, you like going against him too, don't you?
Oh man, when you go. The longer that you're in this, I mean, you just know coaches that are really, really good. I mean, it just is, and he's one of the best. There's a reason there's Hall of Famers. There's a reason he's a state champion. He gets the most out of his guys, and so you feel as a coach that you have to try to do your best to get your guys ready to go because you know that he will.
I like going against section opponents because who knows, you could face them again later on, right?
Right. You know, we talked about this game tonight that with our guys that. In some respects, this is a more important game than our Sauk Center game because we play Sauk Center twice, and they're a little bit ahead of us in the standings. You play Cathedral only once. The winner of this game now has a leg up on if there's any tiebreaker things like that. So I'm glad that our guys, again, had that mature response because, you know, some of those, like Sauk Center and conference teams or Albany that we play twice, those are huge games, of course. But when you play a team just once in the intersection and you got similar records, that's a big win that we just had here coming down in March.
It was. So take a deep breath. Good job tonight.
All right, thank you.